Hello and welcome to a New Year's Writerly Witterings, in which I have nothing new to talk about. But I thought, since how it's New Year's Day, I'd review the things that happened last year and what's been good, what's been less good, and anything else in between really that I can think of. And there's a lot of things to think of. First thing I must mention is this, the Detection Club fountain pen from Conway Stewart. Very much a classic design of pen, and I do love the new array of Conway Stewart nibs. These things are just wonderful to write with. The broad, which I recently tested in the Marlborough in Exmoor resin, was absolutely gorgeous. That was a broad nib and it wrote supremely fine sideways lines and wonderfully broad downstrokes, and it gave good line variation with a little bit of pressure. It was wonderful. This though I just adore because I helped design it. So along the top here, it's got a little bit of red to indicate it's to do with blood, because the Detection Club was formed by Agatha Christie, Dorothy L. Sayers, G.K. Chesterton, Baroness Orczy of Scarlet Pimpernel fame, and a whole bunch of other famous crime writers in the early 30s. Along the top, you've got the names of all of the presidents, all the way from G.K. Chesterton with his years of service down to Martin Edwards, who is the current president of the Detection Club. Then along the barrel here, you've got the names of all of the first members in those first few meetings in the Detection Club. Now, I helped design it. Some time ago, I designed with Conway Stewart that wonderful pen, the Michael Jex Detection Collection pen. And that's a wonderful pen. I really like it. It's significantly larger than this. It's much more of a desk pen, in my view. It's the sort of pen that you would leave at home and you'd want to take something else with you. Well, if that's the case, this is not just an eminently collectible pen, it's the perfect size to fit in a shirt pocket or anywhere you want to put it really. It's just a delightful size and weight. It's got a fair bit of weight to it because it's got a brass sleeve inside the barrel, which just gives it that bit more heft, and it feels lovely in the hand, it feels lovely on paper. It's a really good design. Is that my best thing of the year? Well, it's certainly something I'm very proud of. One of the other things, probably the cheapest thing I've got this year that I paid for, is this pencil, Kurutoga, from, just trying to remember what, oh, it's Uni, the guys who do the Uni ball. What I love about this is that you can see there's an orange section inside there, and as you write or as you push the lead out, it moves, so that every time you sketch or draw or write with it, the lead is rotated slightly, which means that the thickness of your line stays consistent all the time. I just love this pencil. It's the one that I use for sketching now almost every time. It's convenient, it's easily pocketable, it's delightful to work with. I just love it. Now, I've been introduced to a couple of new brands this year, and it's pretty damn hard to pick between them. One of them is this, Lockby. And I am fortunate enough to have one of these A5 journals from them, which is full of paper, as you can see. It takes 4 cahiers, or I've discovered it can take something else, but I'll talk about that in a minute. But I love it. It's got this great pocket on the outside. Whenever I'm out and about and I need to carry something, say a diary note or something, so when I'm out with the Smithsonian or doing one of their organised trips, then I'll keep the day's agenda in here so I can just quickly whip it out and put it back in without having to open the whole folder. It's got this strap. That's not a carrying strap. It's not meant to make this look like a briefcase. That is so that when you're out and about and you want to write something, you can hold it stably, in a stable manner, in other words, while you're writing. Usually you'd have to hold it and rely on the fact that friction is going to keep it in place. But with this, it's actually designed for you to use it properly out and about. I like that. I really like this sort of vastly over-engineered tab that holds it shut. When it's closed, you just pull the ribbon tight through it, and that keeps it really robustly shut. But when you're out and about and you want to loosen things, you just pull the metal clip, and slide it open there. And then you can either put the clip through this extra little tag on the back, which is rather convenient, because that way it means that as you're writing on something on the far right hand side of the book, it's completely out of the way and it won't affect your nib and your pen or whatever. But it's also got an inner tag here, so you can use it there. And inside it's got loads of pockets. It's got a pocket there. It's got similarly a whole bunch of pockets at the front. It's got a nice little Velcro pocket at the top here. Trying to show this off from this angle is not so easy. Let's hold it like this. So you've got a Velcro pocket there, which is actually see-through, so you can see what you've put in there. And then it's got a whole bunch of, it's got pockets here, it's got other pockets down here, it's got another pocket in there. It's got pockets everywhere. What I do like about it is its simplicity. I like the fact it's got two ribbons. The design is wonderful, and what I love about it is this waxed cotton finish, which every now and again gets marked, and then give it a few rubs, put some more wax oil stuff on it, and any marks will disappear. I love waxed cotton. I always used to have a barber when I was a kid. Brilliant waterproof coats that were thorn-proofed as well, so when you went beating for the local shoot, your clothing survived. But I think Lockby is one of those fabulous firms that I'm going to be dealing with a lot in future. I think their paper's wonderful. I just love everything about it, really. There are a couple of things in here that I've also discovered which are marvellous. One thing is, let's just show it off here, this. It's a little file. It's a sort of tag. You just slide it onto your page wherever you want at the top of the page. You can see it just comes off as easily as it goes on, and it just grips the paper beautifully and becomes like a file tag, so that when you have your various pages, you can see the relevant sections that you need to get to just by running your finger along the top if you want to. They're made by Midori, the Traveller's Notebook people, and I just find them enormously useful. There's one other thing in here which I haven't had a time to test yet. I meant to yesterday and I meant to today, and it's this. A wonderful sketchbook from Paper Republic. Now, Paper Republic is another one of those firms. I've looked at their products for many years and I found them quite tempting, but it has to be said, I was never quite ready to hit the buy button on them. And I think it's partly because I already had my Traveller's Notebook, which has done sterling service all around the world. I love this thing, it's great. But the only trouble is, as I get older, and I am getting older, I've found that it's just too tall. It's a bit high, even in a decent cargo pocket. All my trousers tend to be cargo trousers, but even with them, it sticks out of the top. So when it rains, all that paper gets damp. And so I've been looking around for a while for something that's a little bit more efficient for me. And I started thinking Paper Republic may have the right answer with this. What do I want my notebook for? Is it a replacement wallet? No. It is very much two things. It's a notebook, and I want it to have a decent size in terms of the amount of notes I can put in, and it's also for sketching in. Now, unfortunately, Paper Republic didn't have one of their watercolour sketchbooks available in this size, so they sent me the A5 one, which I think is really nice, just so I can review it. What I have got here though is a plain paper little A6 notebook and a lined notebook of a specific type, which is from a company called Dybdahl, Dybdahl, which is, I think, an Austrian or a Swiss firm, and they make glorious paper. It really is lovely. I've been using all types of fountain pen on it, and it just shrugs off any ink without any problem at all. It's lovely to write on. This, I think, is going to be a standard go-to sketchbook for when I'm out and about and I just want to do a quick sketch of something or nothing. And in the meantime, it's all held in this glorious little Paper Republic A6. What do they call it? Grand Voyageur. Grand Voyageur? Grand Voyageur. It's always delightful when you're recording and someone knocks on the window and then comes walking straight into the house. Anyway, this is now my daily carry. It's getting marked, it's getting slightly scratched, and I don't care. I like it when these things get marked. It shows that they've had a life. And I still love my Midori, and it won't get fully retired, but this is definitely my daily carry now. Why? Well, I love my Midoris, as I say, but you can tell from the thickness of the notepads, this is different. This is a watercolor sketch block. But look at the size of the thickness of that notebook compared with that one. It's at least double the thickness. I mean, it's a damn sight more than double the money, to be honest. But, oh, hang about. No, it's not that much more than double the money. But yes, I'm looking forward to getting hold of one of their sketchbooks, watercolor sketchbooks, and then that will be this complete as a package. I'll have watercolor sketchbook, which will be about the same thickness as that lined notebook. I'll keep the unlined plain paper A6 pad in there as well as a simple sketchbook for pencil sketches, and then I'll have the watercolor pad in there, and that will make it complete as a portable sketching usable little tool. What else was I going to mention? Yes, now there's also, of course, the obvious thing that I need to mention, which is I discovered, much to my horror, in December that Dante Del Vecchio has retired. I think he's 70 odd now, and my last conversation with him was based on the fact that I really wanted to buy one of his new Pineda pens, one of the avatars, and they had a special offer knocking the price down from far too much money to only quite a lot. And of course, by the time I had persuaded my wife it was a good idea for me to get another pen, the offer had stopped. So I contacted him just to say, was there any possibility of me being able to get one of these pens at the cheaper price again, and as a result I have got another Pineda pen. Look at this. It comes with its own little personalization system, so you can get your letters of your name, or you can have your national flag, or you can have your star sign or Chinese births, whatever it might be you want. It comes with the ability to put them in here, or anything else you want. I mean, you can design your own little logo if you want. I might one day put my standard Michael Jex logo. That's a thought, isn't it? Where is it? I've got it in here, I think. Yes, there we are. So that, I think that would go rather well. So there's that. It has an extra fine nib, an EF, just steel, it's nothing special. It has a solid section here, which is metal and quite heavy. It has a very good and well-filled fuel tank, as you can see. And there is no added weight or anything inside there. It's just a very light, solid, acrylic plastic type of pen with a wonderful magnetic catch. I do love that. I like magnetic clips. I also like the fact that it has a good functioning spring that works properly. This is my everyday carry pen for now. I just adore it, I really do. I love the fact it's bright yellow, so that when I drop it in the field I can see where it is. I love the fact that it's got Pineda written all around the edge there, and not only that, it's got a scene of the Duomo and various other aspects of Florence all around the back, because that's where Pineda are based. So absolutely lovely little device. And there's only one other thing I've got to mention, and that is my out-in. Now, every year I do get given a lot of things to review. I also get ridiculous numbers of proposals, let us say, from various companies who would like to be able to market to you personally. Just remembered I've got a cup of tea here. Some of those companies are really very good. Some of them really are not. I had a firm policy decision that I was not going to make money out of other people's grief. I decided that many years ago. So for example, I will not allow any advertising of gambling groups on my channel. Now, you may well get adverts for gambling in between sections of my videos. That's completely outside my control. That's YouTube. But I will not make money out of other people's misery, and I believe that gambling is one of the primary causes of people's misery today. So I'll have nothing to do with it. Which is a shame, because I'm sure that gambling would increase my income significantly. But hey ho, there you go. In addition, I refuse to look at a lot of products from China, especially if I think they're just ripping off other people. So the people who make Chinese copies of Lamy pens, I won't have them. I had an interesting, just trying to remember what it was, someone contacted me today to say that they would like to get engaged. Oh, that's right, yes. Partners at Edit GPT app. So they asked me, would I like to have an exclusive partnership, which means they'd like me, as well as thousands of others, to have exactly the same partnership. Would you like to review the partnership opportunity with Edit GPT? We're excited about the potential to work together and bring the benefits of our AI-powered editing tool to your audience. customizable prompts for personalized editing, whatever that means, enhanced editing for longer documents like research papers. Oh, right. Seamless revision control for tracking edits and updates. I mean, I want nothing to do with AI writing or video editing or anything else really to do with AI. I have no interest in it. I have no use for it. And I don't trust any firm that's pushing these things out. So I won't have it. And you won't see me advertising that. On the other hand, there are some firms which are just superb to deal with. I asked these guys at Paper Republic if I could have some paper samples to write with to see what the paper's like. They sent me this. Very, very grateful to them. I asked Lockbee about their products. Could I have some paper to test? They sent me not only this, they sent me a tool roll and they sent me their venture pouch. And they're fantastic too. Very, very impressed with all of them. In fact, the tool roll is now my absolute essential package, which I carry with me whenever I leave the house, because it has all of my battery, every cable you can imagine. It's got everything. It's wonderful. So there are lots of firms such as Conway Stewart that I don't mind having a relationship with because I know them and I trust them. But when it comes to certain products, no, I won't. However, there is this one company that has really taken my notice and I love it. So what is it? Well, it's this. A ludicrous device. Utterly ridiculous and wonderful. What is it? It's a coffee making machine. You unscrew the bottom here and you can either put a Nespresso capsule in here, or you can fill this little pot with coffee, put it back in place, screw it back into the housing. Then all you have to do is put some water in there, press the button, and in about 4 minutes your water will be heated up. It'll be pushed through at high pressure through the coffee and end up in your cup. And so when you're out and about on a walk, you need to carry no fire making gear or anything else. You just end up with a beautiful coffee wherever you want after, as I say, about 4 minutes. Now, with this, I've only got one blob left because I had 3 coffees out of it yesterday. If you charge it up, just take standard USB-C charging cable in there. You can have 4 coffees where it heats the water and squirts out coffee, or you can have about 200. If you just put hot water in straight away and press the button quickly twice, it will push that straight through, and the pressure that it uses, the amount of battery power that it takes to force the hot water through the coffee is minimal, so you can get 200 coffees out of it. And I have to admit, I take this out every time I go walking the dogs now, because I can just stop, look at the view, have a quick coffee, and then carry on walking. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. So, in summary, those are the big things that I have had this year. There are other things I haven't actually... Oh dear. Knocking a box on top of the dog, who looks most offended. I haven't actually filled out much of this yet, but one of the things I do like to get hold of every year is a diary from William Hanna. Goes in my A5 William Hanna book, with reflections on 1 month, and then what will I do differently in future, and intentions for the next month. All I have right now is a huge amount of my wife's singing dates, because everything I'm doing right now is concentrated extensively picking up the box before the dog eats it, is extensively based around the terrifying series of deadlines I've got coming up. So I've got to edit one book, I've got to copy edit a second, proofread a third, write two more. One of them's halfway done, the other one isn't started yet, and all of that before the end of May. So I am ludicrously busy this year. I'm going to try to keep up with the standard writerly Witterings. I think the diabetic Witterings is going to have to go into abeyance for a little while, which is a shame, but to be honest, there haven't been that many people interested in that part of the channel, and it is a lot of work trying to get it to function. So I think that for now, unless something disastrous happens, diabetic Witterings is probably going to be on a back burner for a bit. I will return to it when I can. But there are other exciting projects which are coming to fruition before too long, I hope, working collaboratively with some other crime writers. So I look forward to letting you know about that when I can. And apart from that, thanks very much for watching. I hope you had a very good 2024. It's been a problematic year for so many. I salute the brave people of Ukraine trying to protect themselves against the appalling aggression of the Russian military forces. And let's hope that 2025 will be calmer, quieter, more peaceful, and full of written notes, sketches, and notebooks. Take care. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks for your support in this channel. Subscribe if you haven't already, and meantime, Happy New Year.